The sun'll come out for 20 and Victoria.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. All right, let's...
Very good. So, hello everyone.
Working, right.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun for All on the 6th of December 2024. Didn't it creep up quick?
Well, you know what's funny? For most people, that's their entire lives. Another day gone, another year gone, it's almost Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so...
Yes.
How about if you take a walk over there, Victoria?
Yes.
And bring up the show on your Facebook and see how the sound sounds. Because you can't do it here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, welcome for another exciting episode of the Feel It Real Fun show. My name is Mr. 2020. Victoria is here on special assignment. She's seeing if it's working. Soon. Facebook.
Yeah, I'm open to Facebook.
All right, cool. So we're seeing if the sound actually works right. We're trying some different configurations today. Beth, let me know about the sound. Is it A-OK or does it S-U-K? What do you reckon, Victoria? Okay, come back. Cool. Victoria Lynn is watching. Oh, how cool is that? Elizabeth, yo, yo, yo. Okay, so apparently the sound is good. That's good, Victoria. Thank you. The boys are on the bed. And today we got a special edition. Look at her go. Okay. This is the special Signs or States edition because, let's just face it, if you have one, you don't need the other.
Right.
Unless you got the wrong one. Then you don't have nothing. But anyway,
yes.
FeelItRealFun.com. If you're just getting started with us and you find us entertaining and different and not boring, FeelItRealFun.com. Sign up for the free emails, the daily things, so on and so forth. What else should we tell them about, Victoria?
Well, sorry, I was opening Facebook, so I haven't really been focusing on what you've said.
All right, what else should we tell them about Victoria? She's really pretty. Sometimes she gets overwhelmed. When he sends her on nut missions. Refunds, that's with an ends.
Yes.
FeelItRealFun.com. And for those of you who just want to have some more fun, fellowship, play with us, we've got a cool thing called JoinRemarkable.com. Right, so we've got some cool shit starting up there, some cool shit changing there right now. So if you're not there, why don't you join us? That's cool. JoinRemarkable.com. Or keep putting it off. Right? Hey, Christmas is almost here.
Oh, no.
Yay! and we're one closer hour to the end of the day. Oh, dear. Radio.
I'd hate to
anyway,
that.
Living minute by minute. There's people that do most of them. So, Victoria, let's start with the Neville Goddard quote. It's on the second or the third question. I forget which. Okay. And then we will dive into the questions.
Oh, yes. Okay. So the difference will be appreciated?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Neville says, the difference between feeling yourself in action here and now and visualizing yourself in action as though you're on a motion picture screen is the difference between success and failure.
All right, so one of the things we're going to talk about today is that whole thing of like a lot of people are making movies to distract themselves from their minutes. Movies about stuff that they're interested in that gives them a giggle. Anyway, Neville says that's not the point. Let's keep going, Victoria.
The difference will be appreciated if you will now visualize yourself, your body, climbing a ladder. Then, with eyelids closed, imagine that a ladder is right in front of you and feel yourself actually climbing it.
Yeah, so when people tell me things, I used to be in sales, still am, and I say, that looks like it might work. Looks like a good idea, right? Yeah, looks like that might be fun. Looks like, right? On the other hand, let's start with our first question, Victoria.
Okay, so the first question today is from Anand on Facebook. Imagine what moves you.
All right.
And Anand asks, can you please expand on this 2020?
Absolutely. I moved too. Swear to God, here's what's really, really cool. A lot of people chase intoxicants. Intoxicants are usually distractions, from what I can tell. And so I invite you to have an intoxicating life. Right now, here's what's really, really cool. You will either wait for something out there to move.
Yes.
Yeah, or right, yeah, you were the silence that hears the sound of my voice. You are the stillness that gives rise to all motion. And you don't have to quiet your mind. Your mind is in motion. That's part of its thing, right? So here's what I want you to notice. I'm going to do it. JoinRemarkable.com. We've shared something in there and in Destiny about pain, about pleasure, and about passion. And what happens is so many people, they will do anything to avoid pain. And these three are a holy trinity, right? When you're trying to avoid pain, you can't possibly experience the pleasure and the passion that you were designed for. In other words, I'm going to dance with her. And she may tramp on my toe. I may stub my toe on something. I may get distracted and bump my head into something. But if I refuse to dance with her because I may or may not encounter pain, I don't have the dance in my life, so I'm guaranteed pain. I miss out on pleasure. I miss out on passion. And so if you just draw a little triangle, or if you ask, I'll send you my copy. JoinRemarkable.com. I swear to God, people avoid even exploring this because it's like, you know, they have these silly little models that have them stay stuck and still. So one more. When you're designed to move. If I don't move my body, it becomes furniture. If my body becomes furniture, it becomes painful. As soon as you declare, this is my position, this is what reality is, you stop learning and you stop loving. As soon as I go, she's a Leo and a woman, all right, suddenly I don't see her anymore. On the other hand, when I get that she's a movement, she is a movement within God. She is God having the adventure of a lifetime. And so anytime we're willing to explore movement and moments, that's where the magic shows up. And I'm going to contrast that with minutes. Going back to what Victoria said, it's almost Christmas. You can't help but have that pop up because it is almost Christmas. But on the other hand, when you live to avoid, when you're chasing minutes or running from minutes, you miss out on the magic of the moment. Anand, we will continue to answer this. I consider it a quite profound question. In one other crass commercial, identity-based manifesting, a lot of people try to change what they have, things, or what they do, activities, without changing their identity. And everyone gives lip service to changing the concept of self. We made up something called identity-based manifesting in manifestingtothemax.com, and years later we updated it profoundly with identitybasedmanifesting.com. This is so important because if your identity is a defensive act, right, you will spend time denying your divinity, denying your desires, and literally building a prison cell around you. On the other hand, if your identity is divine and it allows you to discover dance. By the way, I'm loving so many people from Remarkable here. Penny, Christina, and you guys inviting people that are here. Cool, Lisa. This means heaps to me. And we got a live call on Sunday.
Yes.
So let's keep going.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Anand, for your question.
Yeah.
The next question's from Larry, who loves the ladder exercise.
She added in the word of fool.
I did.
Believe it.
Well, he's got Larry loves the ladder exercise.
I do all this hard work to come up with alliteration, right? I'm so moved to make things memorable because Larry loves a ladder exercise.
Yes.
La 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 la. But anyway.
And his question is, why do I struggle?
Yep.
And Larry asks, TT, can you tell me why I keep struggling with this stuff?
Yeah. So Larry sends me an email, Larry sends me a lot of emails. And he doesn't dive deeper, but he loves emailing. So at least he's participant a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And he loves the old fat guy who was a wanted fugitive, right? Yes, he was in Neville Goddard's book. Yes, he learned from Neville, and Neville used his testimonial, and he had some dance studios and all that stuff, right? But when you do the research, this guy was not only on the run, his family bailed him out, and then he went on the run. So, like, they lost their houses and shit, apparently. But I digress. So, here's the interesting thing, right? The fat guy makes things up as far as I can tell. He talks about this ladder exercise that, if you break it down, violates at least 3 of Neville's core principles. Right? I just go, wow, that's weird. Yeah, the old fat guy is apparently making shit up. And he also talks about these secret meetings. Right? Neville had secret meetings where he shared the real stuff with people that wanted to make lots of money. And I go, right. There's this guy called Neville Goddard, right, who I avoided twice and fell in love with the third time. And when I studied Neville, I noticed he's not the kind of guy that goes, we're going to have secret masterminds and hold the truth back from the masses so that some of us can make a lot of money. I just think that's weird. And I go, rightio. So you love the ladder exercise, and you love the guy that actually was in Neville's crowd and apparently his secret masterminds. Good on you. Why do you keep asking me questions? Joe, by the way, said I did Remarkable the first class. It ain't the same course, dude. It is nowhere near. Right? So it's a completely different course every year. So feel free to join us, Joe. So here's what's really, really cool, right?
Yeah.
So you can keep listening to who you're listening to and struggling like you're struggling. Or you can go, rightio, right? What are the principles that Neville teaches? And does this fat guy or the AI violate them? And here's the one thing I notice. People love to be right. Right? I don't give a shit about being right. If you ask somebody like Tim Norman, what I've taught over the past 20 years, it keeps evolving because I find things that aren't optimal and I disregard them quickly. I'm like Bruce Lee. Love Bruce Lee. And when you get someone that goes, right, this is the way it is, I've made my mind up, it's like concrete, permanently set. You're not going to experience much movement. I'm always willing to explore. Always. And this to me is a massive difference because Neville explored for decades. He retained the same core principles. He disregarded some things like the subconscious. You can read his early works where he says, sufficiently impress upon your subconscious. And later on he says, sufficiently impress upon yourself. And you can move in the twinkle of an eye. He disregarded bullshit. And I think this is really valuable because if we're going to move in any way, we get to go, is this serving me or not? And a lot of people go, do I agree with this or not? And if you're sorting for agreement, people love the AI Nevilles. People love the fat guy Nevilles. Because they're teaching what everyone else is saying, which always leads you to struggle. The masses struggle. So let's keep going. Larry, I love you, and I say this in love. But the thing is, ask the dead guy why you keep struggling. Right? He can't answer you. Right? Ask the live guy how he keeps having more fun. He'll tell you. So,
cool.
All right.
All right, so that was from Larry Loves the Ladder Exercise.
Yeah. By the way, remember the quote we started out with?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So people say, I get emails about this. They're down now. They're down to about once every 3 months. People would tell me, Neville taught the ladder exercise. I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder, and a couple other things. And I don't know why you don't like it. I said, because Neville didn't teach it. And I said, well, I saw it on the internet. All right. Right. When you find a lecture where Neville teaches that, right, send it to me. So far, how long we've been doing this? A long time, right? Let's just say 10 years. It's longer than that. So far, no one's ever sent it to me. They all send me the fat guy, right? And now they're sending me AI. Oh, Neville says it here. That ain't Neville, pal. Listen.
Yeah.
Right? He also mentions Facebook, right?
That's right, he did.
but I digress.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Shall we continue, Victoria?
We shall. Cool. The next question's from Tesa on Facebook, middles and ends.
Let me clarify, Tessa did not ask this. She shared this but I just got to run with it because it's so good.
Okay. And Tessa asks, how do you know the difference between a middle and an end?
Cool. So Tessa brought this up from an old show, and I just thought it deserves some more attention. Middles feel bigger than you. When you think about this, I'm physically 58 years old. Every fear, every desire, every accomplishment is smaller than me, because I have experienced all of them. Every fear, desire, accomplishment, all of them put together is smaller than me. They're the waves in my ocean. And this is so important because middles often feel bigger than you. They feel bigger than you because you're denying who you are and how this works. And this is how cool this is. When you deny your divinity, you're denying that your desires are divine in origin. When you deny your desires are divine in origin, you're denying that they all have their own plan and power of fulfillment. They all have their own plan and their own power of fulfillment. Now, when I want to do it my way, I'm not surrendering to the divine plan and power of fulfillment. On the other hand, when I go, I can't figure out how this could possibly work, I give up. I'm denying the divine plan and power of fulfillment again. And how many courses, how many teachers out there are telling you to do just that? And this AI Neville and the fat guy Neville do that. I just look at this and I go, all right, the AI Neville doesn't swear. It sounds smooth. It's got nice background music. It's got space cadet graphics. I get it. Y'all dig that shit. Not you guys. But it's like, it's not what Neville taught. And if you mix it in, you're adding cat shit to the coffee. And people say, well, I tried to make bulletproof coffee. I don't like it. I said, wow, what'd you do? Well, I took instant coffee. I added coconut oil and a little bit of soy butter. and then I tried to drink it. And it's like, that ain't what I do. All right? Yeah, follow my recipe, you get my result. Make up your own damn recipe or listen to whatever, you get whatever. So, hey, there's Remarkable Lynn. Welcome to the show.
Cool.
All right. How's that, Victoria?
Yeah, very good. So essentially, middles feel bigger than you.
Middles feel bigger. They always do. And when people...
But the end doesn't.
The end is a desire. Here's the thing. Wow, there she is. All right, I felt a desire. I want to hang out with her. I want to be with her. For a long fucking time. All right, so there's this desire. If I look at the middles, immigration, legal stuff, other country, other citizenship.
Yeah, right.
How do I move the business here? Am I going to have to pay taxes in both countries? Next thing you know, you've left the room, married some attorney, and I'm sitting under a bridge going, wow, man, I can't figure out the plan with this. I don't have the power. I know what I'll do. I'll win the lottery. I'll use that. That'll be my real end, and I'll pretend it's a... no, actually it's a middle, but I'll pretend it's a real end, right? Versus, right, I met you, you met me, we surrendered to a dance, and against all odds, including getting detained by immigration for 3 hours. Coral says you lost more weight. I'm assuming you're talking to me or Victoria. Look at me. I am incredibly handsome. But I digress. Thanks, Coral. Appreciate that. Cool. By the way, I appreciate you noticing this because here's another bit. DreamDrivenDay.com. Different is better than better. I keep sharing this, right? And here's why. When you scan for difference, you notice difference. When you scan for fuck me, this is just like every other day. Instantly, you deny yourself access to you. Because when I read Genesis, I put this in a podcast this morning that may get released this month. I've got a stack of them, right? When I read Genesis, day one, God goes, all right. Day 2, God goes, something different. Day 3, oh, that'd be cool. Day 4, oh, fuck it, let's do that too. Day 5, oh. Right? Day 6, Day 7, whew, right? It wasn't, so every day was different. Let's make a bunch of different things. Right? And when you wake up and you go, it's the same shit on a different day, that's an assertion. And you're locking yourself in place. And I saw a guy at the store today, Richard. And Richard doesn't get how much I've changed. Because Richard scans for same.
Yeah.
And I talked to him to the point where he finds problems. Right? And I go, wow, still finding the same problems. Right? Now, I don't say that out loud. I do the wow out loud. I say, cool. Nice to see you, Richard. Right? Yeah. I notice difference. And this is so good because when you can scan for difference, you'll move so much easier because you're moving into something different. On the other hand, when people talk about things are getting worse, that's an assertion, and you're fuzzing out and imagining in the future things are getting worse. Or things are the same. They are in your head. But given everything, wow. If you're willing to notice different, you will notice so much more, and you will be so much more. But the minute you start making assertions, this is reality is, this is why I struggle, this is the label I accept. You notice I don't teach label or diagnosed-based manifesting. I teach identity, right? But I continue. Victoria.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay, thank you for that. And thank you, Tesa, on Facebook.
All right.
The next question is from Christy on Facebook. Impossible question mark?
Impossible.
Impossible. And
no es posible para usted.
Tessa
I
asks,
love that one.
How do you know the difference? Oh no, sorry. Christy asks, see, if you wanted an impossible job, like to be a filmmaker, but have very little experience, but a college degree from ages ago, you can do it.
Buy the pearl. Go ahead, sorry.
If I wanted to be one of the most sought after creators in the world, are you saying imagination is the way?
Buy the pearl.
I know this seems far-fetched, if you will, but I would like to know where I stand here.
Yeah, this is really cool. There's a lot of languaging here. If you wanted an impossible job, right? If I wanted to be the one, I'd like to know where I stand here. Yet you're sort of bouncing around like a BB in a boxcar. That's what my old neighbor would say. Love my old neighbor. And here's the thing. Your desires are divine in origin. End of line. That's it. Every desire has its own plan and power. That's it. Now, I toss these bumper stickers out every week, and I always invite people, join Remarkable.com. Right? Like I was just saying to Joe, it is not the same course as last year, or the year before, or the year before, or the year before that. They're different courses. All of them. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, I toss that out because it's those little tiny bites. Identity-based manifesting. This takes this so deep. Pearl Power Pack, which I'm going to suggest here. People sell the pearl constantly. That there's one cause that matters. And they don't realize that they're selling the pearl constantly. The one cause that matters. Impossible job. So you sell it first to very little experience. An old college degree. And then it's like, well, there's a most sought after creatives wants to be. It seems far-fetched. You're denying your divinity through and through. If you haven't done Manifesting Mastery course, do it. It's $1 a day. It's costing you heaps not to do it. If you have done it, email me and do it again. PearlPowerPack.com. We did 3 calls on the Pearl of Great Price for a reason, and we explored why 21,237 emails later.
You remembered that number.
Yeah, I made it a point to. I went through Google and set up a thing to count them. 21,237 emails later from people who thought that they believed in the one cause, and what they sent me showed that they weren't. Again. And if I pointed out, no. Yeah, all right, cool. You want to be right? You want to be happy. Right? So, is it possible? I can't tell you how many impossible things that I've done. You're looking at one now compared to a year ago. Let's do the FTC thing. Your results may vary. But I had at least 6 to 8 experts at the pool and a doctor tell me I'm looking at a hip replacement. Compared to where I was 2 years ago, yeah, right. 2023, I spent a lot of time with progress. 2024 has been a year of transformation for me. Just look at my images. I needed a walking stick. I was taking lots of ibuprofen, painkillers, not good for you. And when I changed who I am, and when I started remembering when differently, my whole life changed. And you can run with that. You could grab some courses for it with us. You could dive into Remarkable. But I'm just telling you, if you think it's impossible, and this goes back to January 2023 in Remarkable, we've got a lovely little chart, cool little recording. You'll get those too if you join. There's two sides to you in that model. There's rational and there's magical. And rational is the interference. Rational made this work today, figured out a solution. Magical actually made it all possible. I need rational to drive the car. Magical is why I drive the car. I need rational to put together a podcast, step-by-step shit to do. But if the podcast has any value, it's because of the magical. So you got a lot of rational getting in your way here. I invite you to pearlpowerpack.com. And of course, I invite you to Remarkable. We're diving into the 12 disciples starting in January. We're just finishing up the last 12 months this USA Sunday. But you got some choices, right? You can figure it all out on your own. Well, most people try to do that. You can keep doing what you're doing. That's all right, too. Or you can get help. And the purpose of the groups isn't to be fixing problems, but it's to help you to move from problems to possibilities. You've got a possibility of giving life to your dream. And what I see is you're in orbit around 3 suns at least, called problems. And so what do we do in Remarkable and so on? Yeah, as far as I can tell, we have a lot of fun. But we train you, we help you get possibility-oriented instead of still fucking problem-oriented. And that's how most people live their entire lives. And that's okay. But if you got a desire not to, that's okay too. So, join remarkable.com, crash commercial over.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent.
You know what's far-fetched? Meeting a woman from the whole way around the world and moving there and staying there and building something that makes a difference and making it so that we can play at home instead of we can sit in traffic. Going from being a teenage bedwetter who had scoliosis, I was told I'd be a cripple in my 20s. And I'll use that word because that's the word that the second highest expert in Pittsburgh used. Right? Look at me. Right? I went on to be a teenage black belt, nationally ranked, and I'm not crippled. So, is the impossible possible? Listen to this whole show, and I implore you to dive deeper. So, boom.
Cool.
How's that?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you,
Or
Christy.
you can live according to how they say in Mexican, no es posible para usted. Oh, I feel so no es posible para mí.
Yeah.
I digress.
Cool. Okay.
Lisa says, I love the story, Victoria. Who would want to live here?
Yeah. With me.
In here?
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm gonna cry now. Yeah. She found the one weird guy.
I did.
Hi.
Yeah.
Swear to God. She just touched my bottom.
I did.
I
Okay.
like it.
And the last question today is from our remarkable Lisa Ann LaRock. It is the Lord who goes before you.
Yeah, me.
And Lisa asks, hi, 20 and Victoria. Most days I bring the sun up with, wow, wow, wow. And it is tucked in behind mountains, its rays underlighting low clouds in orange, gold and raspberry sorbet hues. I flow into recalling moments of grace I have experienced. They pass before me as an anthem of praise for the beauty of my life. Front and centre, they reconfigure the undeniable truth of who I am, my divine image which goes before me. In Deuteronomy, Joshua, does
you
say
did
that
good.
word all right?
Yeah, you did pretty good.
Joshua is encouraged that the Lord will go before him. And the quote is, "Then Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in the sight of all Israel, 'Be strong and courageous, for you shall go with this people into the land that the Lord has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall put them in possession of it. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed.' Remembering my glory honours my future success and blessings. Do you find this to be true for yourselves?"
Yes. I really, I give it a quick read when you send it, and I go, wow. And then I peek at it when I cut and paste it. Whoa. And then she reads it, and I go, dadgum. I really do.
Yeah.
I got a call with her today. I go, dadgum. The Lord goes before you. What's a desire? I desire to have a yummy lunch with her. I desired this morning to do a yummy show, still do. I desired to have a great time shopping, sure did. Yeah. I do my jogos every day, and some of y'all don't, and then you wonder why they don't work, because you didn't do it, or you do it your way. Rightio. I'm in that mood today.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah. Sure, yes.
Yeah. So, the Lord goes before you. What is a desire? Loving puppy dad. Kadra. Welcome to the show. What's a desire? A desire goes before you. A desire falls upon you. I have a desire. I got one today. I want to feel pumped at the gym. So, yay. So that was one of my jogos this morning. Crushing it at the gym. Kahadra, kahadra. There's glory there. And there's also the imagination has gone there first. It's paving the pathway. All I got to do is participant in the car. So I participant in the car. JoyRemarkable.com. So I participant in the car. The imagination has already paved the way. I've imagined the feeling of pumped, feeling good. Imagination has paved the way. I get to participant in that. That's glorious. It is so glorious. If I can look back at my life, my whole life has been this. On the other hand, I can look back at my life and go, my dad left, my grandma died, I got picked on, I peed the bed at night, I peed at the bus stop in my pants. Started walking to school at that point because I figured I can always pee on a tree, or behind somebody's garage or something. But I found I didn't have to pee when I walked to school because I wasn't all nervous. And I could blame that on other people and really stay in there all the time. Or I can just notice I can build a life. You imagine shit happens. You imagine cool happens, right? And there's a little more to that, y'all know that. But whenever you get, this is the glory of God. When you deny your divinity, you've got to be defensive about everything. You got to put up boundaries. You got to protect yourself. You got to rational everything out. You have to ration everything because you're going to run out of fucking money. You got to be right instead of happy. I already know all this, these things that I hear and I hear and I hear. And the moment they're dropped in the twinkle of an eye, dance happens.
Yeah, because all those things that they're saying, you were just saying,
Yep.
that's not letting the Lord go first.
That's not letting the Lord
For
go
you.
first. So,
Yes.
so when you can honor my entire life, Victoria decides one day, I want a high-paying job. And she looks in the paper for the one ads. She goes, well, can't be a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm good with numbers. I'll be an accountant.
Yeah.
And suddenly the next, 20 years of your life, right? You're working in accounting in weird ways and cool ways, 30 years, making decent money, traveling around the world doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Huh. You just had a desire you surrendered to, and then the magical happened that had
Which
that happen.
is like what Christy was saying as well.
Yeah, totally.
Possible.
In the impossible job, and you've worked in that in multiple countries and multiple continents.
Yes.
Yeah, impossible.
In multiple ways as well.
Yep,
Like
exactly.
transformed into...
Yeah, cool ways.
Yeah.
Right? So, you've got to give in to the glory of you, which is the glory of God. And most people will surrender to the gory. Gory. And it's like, this is when this should happen to me, this is when that should happen to me, and I just don't want any shit to happen to me, so I won't do nothing. And so we have that Holy Trinity triangle that I was talking about. You've got pain, you've got pleasure, and you've got passion. And avoiding the pain prevents everything else. And realizing, you know what's going to happen? If I drive my car, my tires will wear down a little bit. If I drive my car, I'll consume some petrol. I mean, someday I'm going to have to spend some money. Oh, I don't like spending money on my car. I'd rather spend it on something else. So I won't drive my car. And then after you don't drive it for 3 months and you got to start it up and the battery's dead, then you spend $500 on a battery. And you go, shit always happens to me. And this is how people live. They deny their divinity. They settle for glory instead of glory. And when you can really, really just look at your life and go, you know what? When you can get that you're doing the setups, you won't fall for the upsets. And here's what happens anytime people fall for the upsets. You let me down. You made me mad. You.
Yeah.
You know what?
Or even worse, they're blaming God for it all.
Oh yeah, so the blame, the big G that's out there, the person that's out there, or they'll even blame themselves and judge themselves. What month did we do this in Remarkable, where we explored judgment versus calibration? Because you can enter into judgment, and judgment's useful. They judged me worthy of driving a car in Australia, so I can. But that's a one-time event. It's my calibration that enables me to drive safely from here to there. So this piece of shit car, right? So I'm coming home the other day and there's this piece of shit car and I'm going through the roundabout, turning onto Kringle Drive, and the piece of shit car is coming from the other road, turning onto Kringle Drive, and I've got the right of way. Right? I have the right of way. I'm right. Right? And I look at this piece of shit car and I do have my indicator on. And this piece of shit car has dents, like 2-3 dents on the side, and a long scrape, and they're different ages. Yeah, I can scan this pretty quick.
Like, and
the driver looks at me like I'm fucking going, and I go, right. If I judge him, right? If I judge the situation, I have the right of way, and I judge him. Well, you're an asshole and an unsafe driver. Suddenly, I'm an unsafe driver. Because I'm in judgment mode and can't calibrate. On the other hand, I go, whoa, there's a car to avoid. And a human being, just like radio, son. We'll work it all out, won't we? Because I don't want him following me home. Yeah. And I just don't want to deal with him. And I will lift him up. And I did. Right? Safe travels. Right? Mm-hmm. And this is where we get to play. Because if I deny, or I can celebrate, almost getting killed in the roundabout. Because I do that. So, Lisa Ann LaRock, calibration is king. It is. Now, here's the cool thing. Some of y'all watching this will go, yep, know what that means? I'll do it. I invite you to explore with us. I swear to God, exploring is never boring. Unless you go, right, I already knew that. I already know everything. I'm right. So, see, here's what I do, right? Let's go real subtle on this. If I judge something as in I already know that, I stop learning. Right? I already know what she's like. So why would I ask the question? Right? I already know what she's like. Why would I tell her about it? I already know what she's like. I might as well stay out. I already know what she's like. I might as well stay out all night and drink. I might as well say I know what she's like. Yep, and she's going to be an asshole when I get home. Right? Yeah. On the other hand, I get to discover dances with her. I don't know what she's like. All I know is I love her, and what she is love. And there we step it up another level. How was that?
That was really good.
Coolio.
I love how you said surrender to the glory of you.
Yeah.
And how the title, it's like if you surrender to the glory of you and you're letting the Lord go before you, just by that surrender. And I loved in the quote that just from Joshua, just it made me really emotional. Like the Lord who goes before you, that He will be with you, He will not leave you or forsake you.
Yes.
It's like this. Wow.
Yeah.
So I found that really cool.
It when you get it, you get it. By the way, I'm going to run with one tiny bit.
Yeah.
Orange, gold, and raspberry sorbet hues. Right? It's the difference. You want to talk richness of reality? People will go, "Oh, that's a pretty sunset," and they don't experience it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, let me read that again.
Yeah,
orange, gold, and raspberry sorbet hues.
I know.
Oh my God!
Eating it.
It's like I'm eating it.
Yeah.
It's the richness. So we settle for rightness when we could have richness. So, were those our strawberry bits? Did we just sort of stumble on those?
No, well, they probably are, but I think it was just one more bit we were adding, both of us, to Lisa's question.
Beauty.
We haven't thanked her yet, and then we'll move to strawberry bits. So, yeah, Lisa, thank you very much for your question. And what we want to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit.
That's right.
And, well, they probably are actually mine.
Yes.
Both. Surrender to the glory of you. I love that. Because we are God. So just keep surrendering to it. And, how the Lord will never leave you. He won't forsake you. The quote was gorgeous. What was your hashtag strawberry bit?
So I go into the pool the other day and I end up in the little bubbly with my friend John, and there's this other guy in there. And I said, "How's it going?" He goes, "All right. How about you?" And I always end up spontaneously expressing something like glorious or like incredible or wow, right? And he goes, "Are you ever just good?" Like, at what? Right? Like, I don't know. You can't live a flat line inside and expect. It's sort of like when the music stops, most people stop dancing. Sing to the Lord a new song. If we go way up to the top question, imagine what moves you. Internal argument, I'm right, I already know this, doesn't move you. On the other hand, sing to the Lord a new song. Let it be something glorious. Let it be something with raspberry sorbet in it. Wow. I bought, so Victoria puts on the shopping list, Castello blue cheese. And so I melt into this experience of really yummy blue cheese. Now, we've got this massive problem in Australia right now. We've got two major grocery chains in our part of the world, and one of them is currently handicapped. I don't know if that's a politically correct word.
Well,
don't care.
Union is striking.
Yeah, shit's happening, right? Shelves are empty and all that stuff. So that's where I usually go, but I go to the other place too. So I go to the other place. Like, everyone's going to the other place. So I give the shopping list a quick glance, and one of the things that I do is I melt into this glorious blue cheese experience. And So radio, and I also do happy, loving wife, that kind of bullshit, right? So I walk in, and in the gourmet cheese area, they've got 4 blue cheeses that the girls just marked down. Oh, I just love marked down cheese because it tends to be like a half to a third of the price, and it's just getting good.
That's perfectly right.
Yes. So I grab them, right? Mine, right? But there's no Castello Blue there, and I roll around to where the Castello Blue is, and there's like 1. Right? It's the loneliest number, but it's my cheese.
Yeah.
So she got what she got. I got what I experienced. Right? And she wanted it. She got it. And I also got trick cheese for Emmett, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So that's what we got, Victoria.
Good one.
So, ready?
Yes.
By the way, yeah, y'all remarkable kids. Remember when we did the shopping trip? I took y'all shopping. Wasn't that fun? Just like, yeah, I'm just rolling. Do what I do. Right? And I'm celebrating the glory of God while shopping, while writing, while teaching, while doing this show. All right. So, when I get into Little Bubbly, glorious. Right? What if you could honestly say that? It's got to be honest. Doesn't matter what the word is. I can't say I'm good. She loves when I do that.
I hate that.
I kind of wiggle my ears too. Anyway, ready?
Yes. So.
There's comments.
Yes.
JoinRemarkable.com, right?
Yes.
If you join today, right, yeah, you could be on Sunday's call with us. It's going to be a dinger of a call. Right? If you don't, that's okay. You can still join after today or tomorrow or Sunday. And Monday we kick off the 12 Disciples. Oh, it's going to be a good adventure. We did them years ago. It's going to be a very different experience this time. Expenditure. No, it's going to be amazing expenditure.
Yeah.
We're already chatting about it, and I'm designing all kind of stuff behind the scenes. Oh, glory days. And so on. JoinRemarkable.com. And if you're just getting started out, ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Summer says, see you in the Remarkable crowd on Sunday. That's right. USA
cool.
Sunday.
Excellent.
Cool. So, anything else?
I think that's all good.
All right. I'll give you the bad news in a moment.
What?
What? Now, how much juice is in your iPad?
Probably enough.
For what? Is the question.
67%.
That'll do. All right. Okay. Love you guys. Have a lovely day. Look at her. She's quizzical. Have a good day.
Say yes.